This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Stand up for yourself and teach people how you want to be treated. Hello, welcome to Choose to Rise. I'm so blessed and honored and grateful that you are here with me this morning and that you chose to push play. I am just overjoyed every single time I get to come talk to you and share with you a little bit about me and some positive content that's going to help you rise up out of your current situation to live your best life. So thank you for pushing play today and joining in. Today we're going to be talking about standing up for yourself and why it's important and how you can do it and what's the best way to help yourself live the best life by standing up for yourself and not necessarily in a bad way, like how you can do it in a positive way and how you can, do it in a dignified way, because a lot of times people will have people put them down, they'll belittle them, they'll take attempts to diminish their confidence, they'll work against them, and we try to get aggressive or defensive, or we think that by standing up for ourselves, we have to respond in a negative way. We have to stand back and push back with harshness. But really, we can stand up for ourselves in a positive way. We can be calm, we can be confident, we can be collected, and not fight fire with fire, but fight fire with love. So while it might be sometimes easier in the moment to just kind of put up with it or ignore it or let it go, oftentimes that means that the person doing it is taking it farther than they need to. And the more you can say no, the more you can stop it, the more that you can push it aside and just stop the mission instead of allowing it just to go, the more respect that you're going to have for yourself, the more respect the other person is going to have for you, and you're going to learn how to stand up for yourself in the process. Everyone deserves to be respected. Everyone deserves to be loved. And when you stand up for yourself, you show other people how to respect you. So let's talk a little bit today about how you can show respect or how you can stand up for yourself. First and foremost, before you confront anyone, yourself included, know what it is that you want from the situation. Do you want them to stop speaking to you disrespectfully? Do you want them to stop being in a relationship with them? What is the specific behavior that they're doing? How can you tell them what it is that they're doing and how it's making you feel? Using I statements instead of blaming statements with the words you in them is super helpful because it's coming at them from your perspective and not that blaming game that puts everyone on a defense. And before you confront anyone, get clear on the reasons why their behavior needs to change. Note that your reasons come from your experience, your filter, and other person has the right to disagree with you. And if you take the time for this step, you might even come to understand that it's actually how they don't need anyone else to change. This might be enough for you to free up from feeling intimidated or someone else's behavior. Nonetheless, this isn't something that I want you to feel like you have to have the other person agree with you on. It's about being clear in what your values are, what your integrity is grounded in, and how it is that you want someone to respond to you or behave around you. So oftentimes, this is something that, like in a minimal kind of way, is that when someone is using bad language around me, I might even just say something like have that kind of response to it, or which isn't like necessarily confronting them, but it is kind of allowing them to know that I don't agree with that. Now, I could also just say, excuse me, I really don't appreciate that language. And then that's how I don't appreciate it. And it's really that's my point, is to help have them think about the words that they're using. I might even say something like, hey, there are children around. I'd appreciate if you'd not use that language. It's something simple. It's something easy. And they'll either say whatever to you, or they might say, oh, I'm sorry, and just change the behavior. Either way, you have the right to respond the way you want to respond, and they have the right to respond the way that you want to respond. But go into the go into the conversation knowing what it is that you want to come out of it. Before you confront anyone, also release attachment. In this last step I talked about, we examined why we wanted something to change and gave the desire for some validity. In this step, you understand that you can't make anyone change. I know going into the confrontation of asking someone to stop using bad language, they may not, right? And that's okay. Setting up yourself for happiness depending on how they change or what they tend to do. If I'm choosing to react in a negative way because they chose not to change their behavior, that's all on me. So before you start going there, disattach yourself, release your attachment, your happiness, your future emotions based on what their outcome is going to be. You can't control them, but you can control how you respond to people. The next thing, if it's kind of a big thing that you're kind of trying to approach, if it's more of a work situation, a relationship, a bigger thing that people are really being negative to you or really holding you back or being, not doing nice things to you, then this might be a step for you. A simple, hey, please stop talking that way is very easy. But writing, if it's something bigger than that, if it's something where you have to have others involved or you're talking to someone else and really planning this out, a simple, direct, clear, and way to maybe write it out even first to gather your words so that you feel more comfortable and more confident going into the things, and really writing down the truth statement. You can be angry, sure, but make sure that your anger isn't giving you away in an attack. Truth doesn't attack. So that's a Danielle Laporte quote. And so if you're being honest, if you're being truthful and factual, and you're bringing it, like I said before, from your perspective, I don't feel comfortable, or whatever, get an I statement, that is going to help you stand up for yourself and show them that you're not trying to attack them. You're just stating how you feel. The fifth one is to set up a time to talk. In the movies, the hero realizes that something and immediately tells the bully to back off, putting himself up in the place. But is that really real life? No, that's not a helpful strategy. You can't just always jump into the thing and say the thing, right? But you have to sometimes set up a meeting, have a conversation, going into it that you are going to possibly have something come back to you that you're not ready to take in. So setting up a time to talk and being strategic about that, making it a conversation and not a verbal takedown, you will feel prouder when you look in the mirror in the morning, and that knowing that you've stood up for yourself and that you didn't avoid the situation, that you didn't back down from it, and that you stood up for yourself in a good way. Number 6, as long as it's not an avoidance thing, because avoidance solves nothing, really, consider completely disconnecting all communication. Now, in that situation where I said earlier, where if there was somebody talking with language I didn't approve of, or that made me feel uncomfortable, I can ask them to stop, right? And if they choose not to, my next step is to either stay and put up with it, which I don't want to do, or I can walk away and disconnect myself from the communication. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do in a relationship or in a situation where you don't like where you're at, or things are not going the way that are maybe hurting your energy, is that you can walk away, that you can just stop attending. You can stop communicating with, you can stop interacting with the people that are doing those kinds of things. You get to decide where you spend your time, where you spend your energy, and who is allowed to impact that. So stop trying to convince, change, or otherwise alter the situation. Maybe it's you just remove yourself away from the situation. So someone once described it to me this way. So just push away from the table and walk. Unless a serious moral code is being violated that requires you to say, no, I will not allow this to continue, then sometimes the sanest choice is just disengage. Let people be miserable if that's what they want to be, and let them rant and rave if that's how they want to live their life. That doesn't have to be you. So just remove yourself from their space. Let someone who wants to just grab talk and that wants to be a part of the drama and wants to be a part of the negativity, let them hang out with their own friends. Let the person who makes jokes at your expense, make them someone else not when you're not around. You standing up for yourself doesn't have to be an aggressive, assertive nature. It can literally just be you removing yourself and not filling your space with the mean girls, with the negative, the big negative bullies of life, and just not engaging in the negativity. The thing is here was that we're not in high school anymore, right? The mean girls world can stay there emotionally if they wish to, but you don't have to join them. You don't have to partake in the negative stuff of life. When you're not talking, when you're not stepping up for yourself, when you're not championing your own beliefs and your own integrity and your own values, you're really letting other people walk all over you. So when you can stand up for who you are and allow others to, see how you're treating yourself, you're going to, you're going to earn their respect because you're respecting yourself. When you stand in the negativity, when you just let things happen, when you are allowing other people to dictate how you feel, you are allowing them to dictate a lot of things, a lot of your emotions and how you respond and a lot of your actions. And that's just out of control. So while you can always live on either side of the fence, I encourage you to step up, to start talking, to disengage if you need to, and to feel like you own your life, because you do. God created you as a beautiful, confident, and well-skilled person. And the moment that we allow other people to engage in our thoughts and to help, shape us into someone that we're not, and we're not standing tall in who God made us to be, that's when a lot of times things just get a lot worse. So if you're wanting to stress less, if you're wanting to live life happier, if you're wanting to, be who God made you to be, I encourage you to get courageous. I encourage you to stand tall. I encourage you to stand up for yourself by telling people how you want to be treated, by engaging in great conversation, and to getting yourself away from the negativity of this world. So thanks so much for joining me today. And if you want to learn more, if you would want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, if you want to work on confidence, if you want to work on nutrition, if you want to work on fitness, I would love to connect with you. Right here on the Choose to Rise page, you can comment, send me a message. If you're listening to the podcast, head over to choosetoriseup.com. You can hit the connect with me section at the bottom of the page, and we can talk more about how you can be a part of our community, how you can be a part of this amazing support system of women who are empowering each other and lifting each other up and living our absolute best lives, because that's what it's about: empowering each other and self-respect and respecting other people, and rising tides raise all ships. And you get to be in our harbor, and I would love to have you at our table. So enough of the analogies. Time for you to get going for the day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Have a good one.